What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big Nick Energy YouTube channel. Mill here with another post-game show. This one was an exhilarating win. The Knicks won against the Boston Celtics 118 to 109. This was a hard-fought, competitive game for the first half. The second half, we pretty much just took over. The Knicks ended up gaining a pretty big lead there. They ended up going up by 31 at one point. The lead was cut down in that fourth quarter because most of our starters sat out. So the 31-point lead was cut down all the way to 9 points, and that is what we won by. We won by 9 points, 118-109 again, the final score. This was a really, really hard-fought win. I'm so proud of our guys for going out there, and you can just pretty much tell they wanted it more tonight. They really wanted it more than the Celtics tonight, who looked like they just didn't have any energy out there. I mean, are these the Boston Celtics who have won 62 games on the season? Because right now tonight it didn't look like that. It really didn't look like that same team who has won 62 games and who has star players on their team: Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday, obviously one of the league's best defenders. It didn't seem like that was the case tonight. A lot of them struggled. I mean, Jayson Tatum was 5 for 13. Porzingis was 5 for 12. Pretty much everyone struggled, as every single, Celtic starter struggled, because when their bench came in that fourth quarter, man, they were pouring down threes. That's why they were able to cut the lead down to 9 points from 30. So maybe they should have played their bench players more. But, that goes to show, like, their starters, we really put up a fight against them. And, it's only one game because this is the first game we won against them this season. But still, like I've said this a million times in the past few weeks, is that we are the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics. They should be scared because we are their biggest competition. In this postseason coming up, our team is probably going to be their biggest competition, even without Randall. Look what we were able to do tonight. We pretty much beat them. I know we won by 9 points, but I'm saying this game ended at the end of the third quarter when we were up by 30 points. And then the Celtics took out their starters. We took out our starters, Jalen Brunson. That's when I'm saying this game ended. So we pretty much just beat the Celtics by 30 points without Julius Randle. It sounds kind of insane to think about, to even, because with Julius Randle and, the first 4 times we played them this season, we lost. I believe 3 of those times we had Randle, and we didn't have OG for, I don't think, any of those. So look how much of a difference OG brings to this team. He's an insane difference maker. I know he didn't score a lot on the offensive end tonight, but his defensive impact is truly, truly undeniable. It has changed this matchup. And I think if we were to meet them in the playoffs again, it would change the series. It would change this matchup. He was able to limit Jayson Tatum tonight. I mean, that was the huge thing. That was the key factor. Because Jayson Tatum, every time we've played the Celtics this season, the 4 times we played them prior to tonight, Jayson Tatum has always had a huge game against us. Every single time. I believe it's 25 points plus that he's always had, or 30. I think most games he scored over 30 against us. Tonight, that was really the key factor for OG. It was limiting Tatum to 5 for 13 from the field and 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. I mean, that's just great defense right there by OG. And I can't emphasize it enough that that's a huge part of why we got this win was our defense. And everyone played defense tonight. I mean, look, everyone on the Celtics struggled tonight. Like I just said before, Tatum was 5 for 13. Porzingis was 5 for 12. I definitely like the defense I saw on Porzingis this time, because Porzingis is another player who we've really, really struggled to contain in the games we've played against them, especially literally the first game of the season. He went off, and it's been hard to contain him. It's hard for our bigs to guard him because he's really a stretch 5. He can, obviously play on the 3-point line, and our bigs aren't comfortable with that. But I really like the defense I saw on Porzingis tonight. Let's keep going down the line. I mean, Jrue Holiday obviously doesn't take a lot of shots. He's not really the biggest offensive guard. He was only 3 for 7. Derrick White was 1 for 5. I mean, this is the guy that people compared, it's crazy to me that earlier in the season, people would compare Jalen Brunson to Derrick White. That's insane. I mean, Derrick White has had some really good games, and don't get me wrong, he's definitely stepped up this season offensively. He's been playing great, but Jalen Brunson does not. He is not Derrick White, and Derrick White is not Jalen Brunson. Completely two different players. Jalen Brunson is obviously better. He's playing on an MVP level. Derrick White, he wasn't an all-star this season, so he's not even on an all-star level. No shade towards Derrick White, but I hate to see those comparisons. I mean, I literally saw a video the other day of someone saying, if you switch their roles, um, if you put Derrick White on the Knicks and you put Jalen Brunson on the Celtics, they're the same team. That's not true at all. Jalen Brunson is leading this Knicks team to a third seed without Julius Randle, without his biggest weapon by his side. So Jalen Brunson is pretty much capable of doing more than Derrick White is. No offense, Derrick White. I'm not really trying to take shots at you right now. Let's get to some comments. Bagman said, tough bucket, Brunson. Literally, Brunson is just incredible. I honestly thought he was going to get another 40-point game. I really wish he made that free throw at the end of the third, because I believe there was only a few players in Knicks history to have 3 games in a row scoring 40-plus points, 40 or more. And I believe they said it was Bernard King. It might have been Melo. I'm not sure. But there's only a few. So, yeah, the last 2 games, Brunson had scored over 40. Tonight, he was super duper close. He had 39. He didn't hit 40, but still, huge game for him. He lit it up from the three-point line. I mean, he was really feeling it tonight. And when he's feeling it from the three-point line, it's going to be a good game scoring-wise. He was 6 for 11 from the three-point line, and he was 15 for 23 from the field. I mean, that's just insane efficiency right there. That is over 50%. I'm pretty sure that's like 65% right there. And along with his 39 points, he had 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and he only shot 5 free throws. So, I mean, it's crazy. He usually should be drawing more contact, getting to the free throw line more, but only 5 attempted free throws tonight for him, and he made 3 of 5. Anarchy said, right, 100%. Nostalgic Nick said, hey, Mill, amazing win. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, watching this tonight, even though it's not the playoffs, it really felt like as a Knick fan perspective, it felt like I was watching the playoffs in a way, because this is obviously the Boston Celtics, who are the first seed in the Eastern Conference. They're supposed to be the big dogs. They're supposed to be scary, but they weren't tonight. The Knicks were dominating them, and I just felt so proud as a fan to watch that. Demario said, great win, salute to you, Demario. Thank you for tuning in. Bagman said, Boston can make the excuse of their win-loss record, but OG put clamps on Tatum. Big difference. Exactly. I said it before that OG was going to be, he's going to be, if we meet them in the playoffs, he's going to be the difference maker in this series. We haven't had OG in the past when we face the Celtics. So, it's a whole different ball game with OG. He only had 12 points tonight, but you guys know, as Knicks fans, his impact goes beyond scoring. It is everything he does on the defensive end. But yeah, he was still efficient despite only having 12 points. He was 5 for 10 from the field. That's 50%. 2 for 3 from the three-point line. Efficient. Even though he didn't take a lot of shots, it's very efficient still. And along with his 12 points, he had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. I mean, his impact is huge. He didn't even have to play the fourth quarter, along with Brunson. A lot of guys stepped up tonight, besides Brunson, who had nearly 40 points. Anunoby had 12. Hartenstein had 11. Josh Hart had 16. He had a double-double. He had 16 points, 16 rebounds. It's still incredible to me that at 6'4", Josh Hart is grabbing 16 rebounds. I mean, let's see. Did he out-rebound the Celtics bigs tonight? How much did Porzingis grab? In 25 minutes, Porzingis had, he had 8 rebounds. That's crazy. And yeah, So pretty much Josh Hart is out rebounding all our opponents' bigs. Like almost every time he's out rebounding them when he gets 10 plus boards. We saw it against the Cavs earlier in the season when he out rebounded Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. That was insane. He did it again tonight. He got 16 boards at 6'4". It's incredible. Nostalgic Nick said, "Did you see Brunson podcast today?" I did not get to see it. Nobody can be compared to JB. He has no other superstar to help. For real. I mean, he's carrying this team on his back. Truly, he's carrying this team on his back, and the weight he has to hold is so heavy. I mean, and he continues to outperform. He continues to pretty much just succeed, overachieve all of our standards, all of our expectations. I mean, it's unbelievable at times what we're witnessing. I really try to take it. I really try to take it all in because this is history. I mean, Jalen Brunson might go down as one of the best Knicks of all time, and we really should be taking in what we see from him on a nightly basis. So we could tell the future generations what Jalen Brunson did in 2024 when he scored 40 points one night. He scored 40 plus points the next night, and then he almost had 40 the third night. But it's definitely things. This year is going to go down in history, even though besides what happens in the postseason, it's still a remarkable year for Brunson. Anarchy said Derrick White is not a leader player as of yet, LOL, so he is not like Brunson. Agreed. I mean, I know before All-Star weekend, a lot of Celtics fans or NBA fans were making a push to say that Derrick White should be an All-Star. They were comparing him to Jalen Brunson. Don't get me wrong, Derrick White has had a lot of great games this season, and he stepped up offensively for their team. Definitely showcasing abilities that Celtics fans haven't seen from him before, but he is not, we really can't compare the two. He is not Jalen Brunson. Nostalgic Nick said Boston is no threat. They should be scared. They really should. Mel R with the orange and blue hearts. Kevlo said, "You ready to watch Knicks play? Those crybaby Nets and their big whining baby fans." That's crazy. Yeah, tomorrow is a back-to-back game. We play the Brooklyn Nets, and Kev does not like those crybaby Nets. That's hilarious. I'm expecting another win. Yeah, that's an automatic win to me. I mean, we dominate the Nets now. I believe we won against them every game this season. I'm expecting another win tomorrow. Keep our third seed on lock. I don't want to fall down to the fourth or to the fifth. We only have 2 games left, so we're in a good spot right now. I was just looking at the standings, and so we are 1 game back from the 2nd seed behind Milwaukee. They have 31 losses. We have 32. I don't know if we'll be able to catch up to them, or we might tie. But again, they have the tiebreaker over us, which sucks. So, that's why we it's important to win games against your Eastern Conference rivals. I mean, we don't have the tiebreaker against Milwaukee. I don't believe we have it against Orlando. We got to get, obviously, the season's done, but next year they got to make it a priority to win against our Eastern Conference rivals. Coach said the East wide open. It really is. And, when the big news came out that Julius Randle was not going to return this season, that he was going to have season-ending injury, that was devastating. And I definitely thought it limited our postseason chances of getting further and further. But with the way this Knicks team has been playing, especially tonight against the Celtics, who are the number 1 seed, who have had 62 wins and who are supposed to be our biggest threat, I don't know. I really believe that this Knicks team can get pretty far, even without Randle. Right now, just watching how Brunson is leading this team, scoring nearly or over 40 points every night, it's incredible to watch, and it really makes me believe that this Knicks team can go pretty far in the postseason. Anarchy said Sonic Brunson. Truly, I mean, he is such a high IQ player. He really beats everyone on the defensive end. And a lot of people question it. They're like, how is he doing it every single night? How is no one able to guard him? Even with him being at 6'1", 6'2", how does he do it? It's because of his IQ. He reads the defense so well. He flies by them. Once he sees a little opening, he will literally pass it off if he sees a double team coming. I mean, he's just so smart. High IQ basketball player, and that's what's getting him buckets every night. He's reading the defense. Kev Lowe really does not like the Nets. He said again, you ready to see these crybaby Nets fans storm out the stadium crying like big babies and still whining about that failed super team? Kev, yeah. I'm ready to dominate them and beat them. I'm curious if Tibbs will start resting players, tomorrow, since it is going to be a back-to-back game. Curious if our starters will be on any limited minutes, like only the first half, or if they'll play at all. But I'm ready to see some crybaby Nets fans. Hit him up said need Bogey to get some more minutes. Man, Bogey has been pretty huge these past 2 games. I know he hasn't been starting. I mean, he's not a starter, but his bench minutes and his bench points have been very crucial. He had 14 tonight, and some of the first half buckets, he was going off in that first half. I believe it was the second quarter that I saw him scoring 3 buckets in a row. I really liked what I saw from Bogdanovic tonight. He played 25 minutes. He only had 14 points. It's not 20 points. It's not 25, but it was necessary coming off the bench. We need the bench help. So, if he didn't, the bench needs help. If he didn't score, you only have 2 points from Achua. You only have 5 points from Robinson and 2 points from McBride tonight. So he definitely helped out the bench. And I do like what I'm seeing from him. I just really hope that he could keep it up. It looks like he's in a really good rhythm right now. And it kind of makes me confident and hopeful for him that he'll keep this up for the playoffs, because we know that ever since he was traded to the Knicks, he's been really up and down. But these past 2 games, I would say he looks like he's in rhythm, and this might actually be perfect, like a perfect time to start the playoffs now that he's actually in rhythm. So, we just hope it translates to the postseason. Nostalgic Nick said, Brunson playing on another planet, king of this city. He really is. He looks like he's playing on another planet out there. Every night he's putting up 30-plus points. I know Julius Randle, he did this last season, not really 30 points every night, but he did average 25 plus. And it just feels like we haven't seen a Nick do this in so long. Maybe the last time we've seen someone do it is probably Melo, the first time Melo came around. Yeah, or 2013 when he won the scoring title. I believe he was averaging 28 points that year. Brunson is averaging above 28 points per game this season. It's such a gift to see your star player put up that many points every night. I mean, to have a star player that's consistent, he's super consistent. Bagman said, and shout out to the Hart of New York City. Always beating, always hustling, essential rebound king. He really is the heart of this team, and he is literally Josh Hart. So that fits really well. I said it before, 16 rebounds is just unbelievable for a guy at 6'4", for a guy who has to go up against bigs like Porzingis, a 7-footer. He's out rebounding a 7-footer on an opposing team. He's out rebounding his own teammate, our big Hartenstein. It's just, I can't even put into words what that is. Josh Hart is on another planet rebounding wise. But I'm also really happy to see him put up a lot of points tonight. I mean, 16, that's a really good amount for Josh Hart. Hit him up said JB could have had 3 40-point games, 1 point shy. Yeah, I know. Hit him up. I I really wanted him to hit 40 as well, to get that history going. Oh, Joe is here. Let me try to add him. 1 second, guys. Now I need to change the layout.
If only he made that last free throw.
Let's do the win for 30. Oh wait, I don't know if this merch is still up actually.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's.
Oh yeah.
Maybe this one.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you.
Awesome. If only he made that last free throw.
I know it's gonna bug him, but it's gonna bug me too.
Same. I wanted him to join. It was Bernard King and Melo, right? Like Ewing never did it. Oh god, that would have been so nice.
I know, man. I mean, he was so close, but he's got to make those free throws.
He only went 3 for 5, man. Like, what are you doing, Brunson? How are you an MVP if you go 60% from the line? You can't be.
What's his percentage on the season now?
Oh, it's 80 something. He shoots 84%.
I was really hoping Tibbs would just leave him in for 1 minute in the fourth, just one.
Yeah, just to score the first basket and then get him out. But I mean, if you do that, that's the type of greedy stuff that gets the guy hurt, right? And he already he fell weird taking a charge. We thought the wrist sprain or whatever could have been something, and then he made one of his next 2 threes, and that was fine. Mill, oh my God, there are so many people from Boston that are just so mad right now and so full of excuses, including Joe Mazzulla.
I can't wait to see it all. I can't wait to see it. I haven't been on Twitter, but I just want to see it. I want to see all of it.
Joe Mazzulla called the Knicks a desperate team, and it's hard for them to simulate a team trying as hard as they did. And he also said the Bucks too. He said the last 2 teams we played were desperate. I don't know if he knows this, but both the Knicks and the Bucks had already clinched their playoff spots going into their games. It's not exactly.
Why did you say desperate?
I don't, because he's trying to. Joe Mazzulla sucks. Just straight up, he sucks. I don't know. Worst guy named Joe I've ever had to deal with.
That's crazy. Yeah, we already clinched our spot. I mean, he didn't even have to play his starters tonight. It sounds like I don't even know.
So I found this out from listening to Knicks. I found out from listening to Knicks Film School. I listened to both Knicks Film School and KFTV's pre-games today, and apparently the main Celtics are in the G League Finals right now. So 3 of their 2-way players, including the rookie Jordan Walsh, weren't eligible to play because they're playing in Oklahoma City for the G League championship.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was going on.
Yeah, I didn't know either until I listened to the thing. So they were short a couple of guys, but I don't know. They could have played Svi Mykhailiuk, I feel like, 40 minutes in this game and give the guys some run.
Their end of the bench guys were playing better than the actual starters. I mean, they could have ran with them the entire game. Sam Hauser,
their bench, yeah. Hauser had a plus 16. Pritchard had a plus 22. Mykhailiuk and Springer were both plus 21. Cornette was plus 15. Tillman was plus 6. It's their bench. I mean, it was all the fourth quarter, but yeah, that really, yeah.
Garbage minutes, but
garbage.
Still. When I heard that the starters were going to be playing tonight, I really just questioned why, and then I mean, you just explained why, but I also thought it could be a way for the Celtics to get some film on this Knicks team who they haven't played, this team before with OG. When was the last time we played the Celtics? Did we have Bogdanovic? I'm not sure, but still, just this Knicks team. This is the Knicks team that we're running with in the playoffs. It's just one game, but maybe they just, they wanted to see what it would be like. And in 3 quarters, they got dominated with OG and Anunoby.
They played the Celtics December 8th. Wait, hold on a sec. This can't be right. Did they play them one? This is what, the 5th game, right?
They played one a month ago.
They played once in October, once in November, once in December. That's where I'm at right now. And then, was it last month? Oh, and then, in February. But the February game, Burks and Bogey were out there. Burks and Bogey in the February game would have combined 5 of 18. So, they were already in peak prime Detroit Piston form.
Bogdanovic is in rhythm now. I think he's in rhythm. So I think this is really good. Yeah, knock on some wood. But with 2 games left in the season and we're heading into the postseason, I really hope he is in a good rhythm. He looks really good out there. I mean, I saw a few shots of he took in the first half. He looked super comfortable. I mean, I love what I'm seeing from him recently.
Yeah, I mean, better. Now's the time to get amped up, bud. Now's the time to actually start making those shots and getting a couple one dribble open threes and stuff like that, and not just driving really slow motion 55-year-old LA Fitness down the lane and then being blocked by someone a foot shorter than you because they're 10 years younger.
Yeah. Oh man, I just hope he keeps it up because even though it was only 14 points off the bench, like he was the soul and the heart for the bench tonight, because without his 14 points, you don't have much there. I mean, Precious only had 2, Robinson had 5, McBride had an off night. He had 2 points, so he really lit up from the bench.
Yeah. No, I agree. How did this dude say we're desperate? We played Bogey and Precious at the same time. Those 2 guys will never see the court together. We didn't even play like neither team gave like they both were like, this is not our game plan at all, but we have to come out here for TNT.
Not the right word. But you said he used it when they lost to the Bucks too.
He just said it in the postgame like 30, 40 minutes ago. He was like, both of these last 2 teams were desperate. And those were the last 2 teams, the Knicks and the Bucks.
Strange. That's very strange.
I don't get it. Couple things in the chat. JJ McDoolittle, what up? How's it going? Hit him up. Brunson playing like Allen Iverson. State from Harlem has fully pushed this narrative going that Brunson is playing like Allen Iverson. And there was plenty of Boston people saying he's playing like Boston Isaiah Thomas, which Isaiah Thomas is 5'10" and could not play defense. He literally got posted up every single time. Brunson at least can take charges. So a little better.
Scary charges.
Missoula's a loser. I agree. He has all that talent on the roster. There's like a chance in 10 years from now we're looking at Missoula. I just put Joe Missoula into Missoula. Missoula is like a Spoelstra almost, where it's like they hired this like almost like child prodigy. Yeah, he got hired at 34, so he's not a child, but like from a coaching standpoint, child prodigy. And then he has like 2 titles to his name, and it's like, oh my God, this late game. He used to be a terrible late game caller, and now like look at these crazy out of bounds plays he has for the last 10 seconds. Or the Celtics are like, I can't believe we hired that guy. This guy's kind of a little out there when it comes to the media and the way he interacts with other human beings, and they regret this, which I'm hoping for that one. And then here, let's both answer this before we get into what Matt is saying about Kristaps Porzingis. Do you think this win flipped the script on the season? I'll let you go first. Also, what do you think that would mean, flip the script?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Flip the script on the season? I mean, what does JJ mean?
I don't know. Like, I feel like this is a pretty low, like this was a low-level game. I know this is like the best team in the league, and the Knicks are they might really end up the 2 seed, because I honestly feel like the Bucks are about to tank the last 2 games almost purposely to avoid Miami and Philly. And the Knicks under Tibbs don't tank anything, and they need to at least win one of the next 2 to clinch a top 3 seed. But I don't take that much out of this game. It was awesome. Like the fact they were up 100-71 after 3 quarters, which in essence was really when the game was over. They went into halftime up like 18 or 20 or whatever it was. Like Brunson had 39, OG had a plus 20, Hart with 11 and 13 and 7 offensive boards, Josh Hart with a 16 and 16. Josh Hart gets so many rebounds at this point that you don't even feel like he has that many.
Yeah, like 16 rebounds. It doesn't feel like that many anymore. Maybe with like the first few times he did that in the season, it did feel like that, but now it just feels natural. Like that's what he does. He just gets them every single time.
He really does. I don't like, dude, it literally, you know how like at this point Brunson puts up 35 and you're like, yeah. It didn't feel like that. It felt like he had like 20. It's just like so common. It's getting to that point with Hart and rebounding, which is so weird. I'm trying to look for what they're saying. So you guys saying that Porzingis said something racist? Matt David. Apparently, Jaylen Brown brought to unknown source after the game KP was making racist remarks after loss. I'm pretty sure KP and Jaylen Brown are two of the best friends on the team. What do you? I think is going to happen. What do we think is going to happen to KP if this is true? If someone could find us the quote or like a link to the video.
JJ said there was a video, which is crazy. How would they get a video of that?
I'm trying to find that. It's like known. Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis are like best friends.
I'm gonna look it up too.
I don't know if I'll be able to find this, or if anyone's gonna like at least just quote, like say what they said in the video, that'd be awesome. Yeah, he says
I don't know
Twitter video.
True.
Terrence, what up? You did say they were gonna be a 2 or 3 seed, and I doubted. I did doubt. I thought injuries would come into play. For how much I believe in OG Anunoby as like the second best player on a team because of defense, you would imagine I would have more faith in him helping them get to a higher seed, but I did not. Or I didn't with my prediction.
Wait, what did Terrence say? I told you they would be the 3rd or the 2nd seed. I mean, after we achieved the 3rd seed probably like 3 times this season, I think, or 2. I know one came after like I believe it was after January for like a day or 2. It was really short-lived. And then we fell back into 4th. So we were in 4th for like a while. I think most of February, March. And then like a week or 2 ago, we did get the 3rd seed. Went on a 3-game losing streak, lost that. We're here again. So, I mean, I would have expected us to get the 3rd or the 2nd fully healthy, but without Julius Randle, I'll be honest, I didn't know how achievable it was because you're losing a lot, losing him.
It was losing both of them at the same time.
That too, OG. You know, we haven't had OG for like half. I mean, obviously we didn't have him for the first half of the season because he wasn't on the Knicks, but we had him for January, and that was pretty much it. And then we've had him for the past few games, so that's it.
Yeah, and again, knock on wood, just stay good for the playoffs, man. We made it. This is it. What do you guys think of McBride? He was not good tonight. His confidence is off. He struggled his last 2 games. He went 1 of 6 for tonight, and then is this the right one? Yeah. And then he also went 3 of 10 last game, including 1 of 6 from 3. He's a really young player. This is his longest stint in the rotation, like as he's basically the 7th guy or 6th or 7th guy off the bench in the rotation. So he's 23 years old, and he's in charge of being the backup point guard, even though he's not really the backup point guard. He's not really the backup ball handler, which I think is part of the overall frustration with how the 4th quarter went. The 4th quarter was a big indictment on McBride being able to try to lead a unit, if nothing else, and how much they struggled getting the ball in.
That was a little, I don't even know what to say. Kind of hard to watch because, you know, after a great 3 quarters and going up by 30, we pretty much blew that lead. And it was him trying to run the offense, a lot of turnovers. I mean, I don't know how much we accumulated in that 4th quarter, but it had to have been a lot. It just seemed like almost every other possession we were turning the ball over. Not really a lot of quality shots there. And then they just lit it up from 3. So the perimeter defense kind of sucked as well. So that does concern me. But again, like Jalen Brunson is going to be playing most of the games in the playoffs. Like he sat the entire 4th. You know, yeah. He would only be out a few games in a few minutes in that 4th quarter, and then he'd come straight back into the lineup.
I would rather McBride struggle this week and not 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about his shooting. You know, we've seen streaky players on the Knicks before, but I don't think he's going to be streaky. You might be right. His confidence might be off. We've seen him like really, really go off before. We've seen him hit 6 3-pointers in a quarter alone. I still think he's capable of that. He's a great shooter. You know, some people just have off nights.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Some guys have off nights. He went 1 of 6. Precious went 1 of 6. Like our 4th quarter, this isn't a real team lineup. Was what McBride, Devo, Precious, Bogey, and Hart.
Yeah.
Like Bogey and Precious are never going to be on the court together at any point in the postseason. Like that's just not a thing that they're going to use unless they decide to go really small and Precious is the 5 for like 2 minutes in a game. And the only team you could realistically do that with would be against the Heat and Bam because he's not a 7-footer. He's only 6'9". So outside of that obscure scenario, we're never going to see that. So, which goes back to the Joe Mazzulla saying they were desperate thing. We played lineups that we're never going to even play in the postseason. The Celtics have been playing, like doing things and switching and calling defensive coverage that they're not going to do the postseason. The Knicks literally didn't play lineups for like 15 to 18 minutes of this game that you'll never see in the playoffs when it matters. So I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't get how you. I don't understand. It's just this guy just made excuses. Let's be real.
Yeah, and I have to look it up after what he said. But if he called us and the Bucks desperate, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. Bob, salute. We'll get to what you're saying in a sec. Luis is a good question. Luis from Twitter. Bustamante, who's the better matchup for the Knicks in the first round? Pacers, Magic, or Cavs? Rank them. Who you want to face the most, the least, Mill?
The Cavs first. I think I don't know. Like,
Would you rather deal with a really young all offense team or a really young all defense team?
I'm torn between Pacers or the Magic. I'm trying to figure out who would the Magic have guarding Brunson, as their best defender?
Jalen Suggs.
And the Pacers
might make an all NBA defense team. He might make second team this year, so.
Yeah. And on the Pacers?
Definitely not Halliburton. Maybe Nembhard? I don't know. I have to actually look at when's the last Pacers game that played? Because they do a lot of weird stuff with their lineups. The thing with the Pacers is that they have like 5. Remember how the Knicks had too many point power forwards a couple years ago? That's kind of where the Pacers have ended up at. Somehow. I don't know. I would probably put Nembhard on him, and then maybe they have Siakam cover him at various points if they want their best defender on him. But I would imagine Siakam and OG are going to be covering each other for a lot of those games. But yeah, okay. I mean, I don't like Pascal Siakam can't cover Jalen Brunson, and neither can Naismith, Nembhard, or Tyrese Halliburton. Like they have nobody realistically. And Pascal Siakam's their best defender. He's better as a help defender, or he's actually better playing guys that are like his size or a little bigger than he is playing small dudes. He's just not as light on his feet anymore as he used to be. The Magic actually have Jalen Suggs and Jonathan Isaac, 2 very different guys that can, in essence, cover him a little bit.
I still think I might put Magic at number 2. Cavs, Magic, Pacers.
Okay.
What about you?
They're all getting washed. No one's getting 6 games. I don't even care. It doesn't matter, baby. The Cavs, you have the most experience. You lame. You soft. You baby aspirin. We've gone through this. Evan Mobley wants nothing. Jared Allen wants. I'll stop doing the voice. No, I'd probably actually. I feel like I would put the Pacers last just because, like, the chaoticness of their offense when it's going and Tyrese Halliburton having a week off. Assuming they'd get out of the play-in officially, which I'm pretty sure they're almost all the way there. And, like they need to win one more game, I think, to actually fully avoid it.
Like how many? I don't know if you know this, but because I don't really watch like the Pacers too often. But how has Siakam been doing since he's been traded there? Has he been going off, or I haven't heard like anything?
Pascal Siakam is actually leading the team in points.
Okay. So
21 points, 54% from the field, 37% from 3. That's way better than he usually does from 3. He's usually like 33%. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.2 stocks. So it's just tough. Like Pascal Siakam's a good, like a above average, pretty solid defender, and he was like really good with the Raptors when they had the whole team defense. Like, yeah, they had no spacing and all the guys were the same height, but having Pascal, OG, and Scotty Barnes all out there with a Jakob Poeltl, and then you could afford to have Gary Trent or someone that's not good at defense as the one guy. Like, all of them together as a unit just had great team defense. Pascal Siakam isn't like this great overall catch-all defender that can make up for the fact that Miles Turner's a decent rim like rim protector, but Nembhard, Naismith, Tyrese Halliburton, like the Obi Toppin plays for them. Jalen Smith isn't that great of a defender. Like TJ McConnell is honestly probably one of their best perimeter defenders, but he's the backup to Tyrese, and they almost never play together. So I don't know.
And then if we match up against them, so do they insert Precious into the starting lineup, obviously to guard Siakam?
No, I think this is the lineup we're seeing. I think it's the 3 Villanova guys, OG's the 4, Hart's the 5. I don't see them deviating from that at all unless they ever lose 2 straight games in the playoffs.
Got you. Because I feel like the last time we've played against Siakam, Precious was guarding him. I don't remember when that was. I feel like he did a decent job. Like I have a very light memory of that.
It was fake, by the way, the Kristaps thing. So everyone pretend we didn't talk about that.
Oh, okay. Probably got trolled by like NBA
Sports.
Yeah, something like that. One of those fake accounts. They get me sometimes, honestly.
OG and Pascal cover each other well too, man. That's always like I can only imagine that's going to be a battle. Like they've never played against each other. They've just practiced against each other for OG's whole career.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
And they're the same height and have almost the same exact wingspan. Like that's awesome. I think if OG's not in there, I was telling you this one last week, that when OG's not in there, I would actually probably play Precious more than Bojan for that matchup specifically.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're bad at defense overall. So like, yeah, Bojan's a shooter and you want him out there, but I feel like Precious could honestly score on half their team by driving, or if as long as he doesn't travel like he does half the time. So I'd rather him cover Pascal when OG's not.
Dude, I'm not sure really what happened to Precious like this past few weeks, but I mean, when he plays 40 plus minutes, he's a dog.
All that a lot of people need is opportunity.
Right.
Brian Sutton goes, hopefully we get to a conference final. I'm about 50% sold. 3 seeds is going to be good for us. Bob goes, man, I got a story to tell. I didn't know you can score 39 points on 15 and 23 shots. I know I'm late. I'm just happy if we win the next 2. JC, go get me some bananas, boy. And then proceeded to make monkey noise. Oh, this is it's fake. Okay. That is wild. That is super. Whoever fell for that. Also, the recording is funny as hell. Remember when Vin made the fake Tom Thibodeau, Donovan Mitchell recording?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh my god,
that was hilarious. I don't know, like those things sound so real.
Donovan, I love you.
Brian said the problem in the playoffs is going to be that exact same thing. McBride cannot run the offense.
I don't think he's going to have much of a chance to. I think if he plays, it's going to be off ball. He's going to play. I think it's just going to be mostly off ball.
Yeah, like we said it before. Brunson is going to be playing majority of the game. You know, when he rests, it will be for a few minutes. Whether the Knicks can, actually produce or score in those few minutes when he's resting, we don't know. We've seen some games where when he is on the bench to start that fourth quarter, it's a disaster. But we've seen other games where, in the past where like either Burks or Bogdanovic were both playing, they've been able to put up some points, carry a little bit, give Brunson some rest. So we don't know. We don't know what it's going to look like when Brunson gets some rest in the postseason.
Assuming at this point Burks is basically out of the rotation, barring Deuce have a total collapse. Their second unit does well when at least one of Bogey or Deuce are hitting threes. Like if Deuce can hit the catch and shoot, or Bogey can actually get catch and shoots going, or the one dribble shots up and they actually go in, that's when our second unit has been, I wouldn't say thriving. They're almost never thriving, but like if they could even win those 4 minutes with like a +1, or like stay within ±2 one way or the other, like that's a win. Because you're going to, more often than not, they're going to win the Brunson minutes. Again, I mean, against the Celtics, who knows? Obviously, I still think they're the best team in the East today, and Joe Mazzulla notwithstanding. But like against the Sixers, the Pacers, Magic, whatever, you expect to win the Brunson minutes, and it's just like, can your second unit guys just hit a couple open shots and not get swarmed?
I'm hoping that I just know that he won't be sitting down too much, so I'm not too worried about it. Like I'm not worried about McBride running an offense because I know it'll only be for like a few minutes if he has to. But I do think that with how Bogdanovic has been playing the past few games, I'm not expecting much from Precious on the offensive end either. I'm expecting McBride to put up some points as well off the bench, but I think they'll be able to carry a little bit when he's resting.
Basketball's played on two sides of the court, right? Like, say Brunson's out, and we've talked about this lineup, like how fun it is defensively. Like McBride, Devo, Hart, OG, Hart, or Mitch, right? Like, yeah, Brunson's out of the game, but how many points is the other team scoring in that situation?
True.
Like in a 3-minute stint, are they giving up 6 points in 3 minutes? 8 points at most? Like, can you just keep the game? Like, can you play those 4 minutes and make it be like 10-9 Knicks? Like, if a team scores 8 points in 4 minutes, like, that's not good. They didn't have a good 4 minutes there.
Yeah, the defense can go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you bring metal baseball bats.
Exactly. I'm counting out speaking of the bench just now, I didn't count having Mitchell Robinson on there as well. That's a huge factor.
100%, and you can tell he's getting more and more into game shape. It's a slow process for sure, but as he's going, I think he's another one that's going to benefit a lot from the week off. Like, he's been getting this ramp up period. He's actually been getting minutes in an actual NBA setting, and then he'll have a week off, go back to his conditioning coach, go back with the team, like be like, hey, like I was able to play this many minutes, like my vertical isn't good enough here. Like, you can just get like things going on and figure out where you're at health wise, and maybe like just tweak a couple things within your training regimen or diet for that week, and then maybe you're a little bit better. Go vegan for a month. I don't know.
Yeah, the past few games he hasn't looked the best. I mean, definitely looked like he hasn't been conditioned that great yet, but it's only like a few games he's been back, so I'm not expecting him to be full force yet, or the Mitchell Robinson who he was before he went down. It obviously takes time. We've seen that plenty of times with other players. So yeah, he looked better tonight.
Agreed. Yeah, and it's a process. I think he'll play a little bit more tomorrow because today was a lot more Hart than Mitch, and they're on a back-to-back. So, and I mean, Nick Claxton, come on, man. Nick Claxton's so small. Almighty finesse goes OG can put Siakam in jail. I think OG's stronger than him. And where was the other one I wanted to bring up? Oh, nostalgia goes Knicks. Knicks Pacers. Which is currently the 3-6, and because we all know the Knicks still play the Nets and the Bulls both at home starting tomorrow. The Pacers' last 2 games are against Cleveland and Atlanta, and Cleveland has to actually win the game still in order to be the next team that clinches a playoff spot. Then they're right ahead of Philly, 1 game up, and Philly has Orlando and Brooklyn. So Indy, Cleveland, and Philly, Orlando are 2 giant games. It's literally between the 4, 5, 6, and 7 teams are all playing each other.
Yeah, those are huge. Wow.
Yeah, so that we don't know who we're playing yet. Even if we were locked into 3, we still don't know because 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all literally about to play.
The 76ers are on a 6-game win streak. Just peep that.
It turns out Joel Embiid is good.
Wow.
That bastard.
I mean, I think it was like Knicks Muse who was saying it that they could sneak into the 6th. We might end up playing them first round. I haven't given it too much thought, but it's possible.
I love it. I don't mind. I think Tibbs is actually pretty good at scheming up how to stop like opposing centers when the centers are the best players. And we've watched Joel Embiid have to fight through Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson, more specifically Mitchell Robinson, for a longer period of time enough that I wouldn't be scared of the Sixers, honestly. And Tyrese and like OG Anunoby is still there to like make everyone's life hell between FU Kyle Lowry, Kelly Oubre, Tyrese Maxey, obviously. I don't know. I'm really not scared of anyone. I'm not. I want every matchup.
Yeah, I know. I know you want the Miami Heat, which
I want the Heat so bad.
And
I'm the only one here.
Because they're physical. I'm not scared, guys. I'm not scared of the matchup because they're just a physical team. I don't want to see Bam Adebayo step on anyone's ankles this time.
Thoughts on Amen Thompson in the future? Well, I mean, apparently the Rockets figured out you can have a guy play the 4 or the 5 when they're 6'7" and can't shoot, because this is positionless basketball when you don't have to cover one of the 5 best centers. I think for both Thompson brothers, it's you need to maybe you don't need to get a respectable 3-point jump shot, but you can't be shooting less than 15% from 3, and you can't not have a mid-range at all. Like, there's only so many guys that could play like Draymond Green from a playmaking, passing, oddly sized versus what their ability is, like defensive skill set in the NBA. But like Draymond Green has shot over 30% for most of his career. He's had like 30-point games before.
He's shooting 14.3% from the 3-point line.
Here, now go to Detroit and look up his brother. It's really funny. I swear to God.
Is it better or worse?
And look up Asar. It's the same.
Oh, okay.
I think they're within 1% of each other. I'm pretty sure. Asar, who's out for heart condition now, he's at like 13%, and he's out for the year now because of his heart.
How many? Wait, I need to see how many threes are they even attempting. It can't be too many, obviously, because they suck from the 3-point line. They're attempting like one a game.
Well, you start by trying out more, and then you realize you suck at it. They don't let you shoot as much anymore.
Wow, that's insane. 14% is wild.
Ralph, what up? Milwaukee can lose next to a Knicks get 2 seed. Yeah, so if Milwaukee loses the last 2 games and the Knicks win the last 2 games, they are the 2 seed.
Oh, imagine that happens. Wait, who would we face then? I need to see the standings.
That goes to the play-in then.
Oh, right. Undecided. Yeah, well, everything's undecided right now, but still.
Yeah, basically, Boston, us, and Milwaukee are the only 3 that have like somewhat. Boston definitely knows, and us and Milwaukee have a general clue. Like the Cavs haven't clinched the playoff spot yet; they're in 4th. They could still fall to 7th.
Yeah. So if we get the 2nd seed, which I don't know if so, that happens if the Bucks lose their next 2 games and we win our next 2.
Yeah, we're the 2 seed.
And who are the Bucks' last 2 games against, you said?
Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And Orlando.
I don't know if they lose both. It's possible. Because also Giannis is out, right? For these.
Giannis is out, and Dame is questionable tomorrow for OKC. I don't think the Bucks want the 2 seed. I think the Bucks are trying to tank and avoid Miami, Philly. And it's going to be really funny if they do that and they end up in the 3 and then Philly ends up getting the 6 anyway.
Yeah, because it's so close right now. That could actually happen.
Like these teams, like no team can really game who they're playing yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's a little bit scary. I mean, we're not scared of many teams in the East, but it's nice to like predict matchups a few days before, weeks before, but it's not possible right now because of how close it is and it's changing every single night.
J.R. Smith says, "What's up, Joe from South Korea?" Hopefully this Joe is more like
me.
Oh
wow,
like
J.R. Smith.
And then they're talking about in the chat, like, would you want to bring a veteran back on the team? I think Derrick Rose is close to retirement. Isaiah Thomas barely made a roster again. He's on the Suns. Jamal Crawford, this can't even be real. Those guys are like retired.
Wait, who's the last person he said? Did he say Nate Robinson?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a troll. I don't care. What's it? I want to talk about. There's one other thing I wanted to see on here. I forgot where it was. I never actually finished answering who I wanted the most out of the 3. I want the Cavs the most, and then I want Orlando, and then I want Indy, because I know Which is, it's really crazy because if you ask any non-Knick fan who they want their favorite team to play, like if you ask the Bucks, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't say the Cavs first. It's just that the Cavs, like the Knicks are their boogeyman. It's their kryptonite.
Yeah.
It's like they just can't do anything. They just don't do well against the New York bigs in the offensive rebounding and the pack in the paint game. Even with they added more 3-point shooters, I wouldn't expect them to lose in 5 again. I think it would go 6, but I don't see the Cavs really giving them like a 7-game series or beating them. Orlando can't score at all. I know they'll get there in a couple of years. I know Paolo took a bigger leap this year than a lot of us thought, but it's hard to win these days. I know they've done it recently, but it's hard to win overall in today's NBA, winning 91-85, and they don't have a real point guard. Like the ball's in Paolo and Franz's hands a lot, and they're both really young and not actual point guards. And Indy's it's just such a wild card to have an offense like that and to just want to run and gun and have like go 11, 10, 11 deep. And like Tyrese Halliburton is the most scary of those 3 teams player. I think even more scary than Donovan Mitchell.
The thing is that I'm super confident against the Cavs, but and we like limited Donovan a lot in last year's playoff series. But I'm just wondering if that would be the same case. I'm wondering if like he would go off this time and like just carry them full on the way that JB carries the Knicks.
I just think it's hard for Cleveland that your 4 best players, they play better 2-on-2. Like the fact that for Garland and Mitchell, they each play better individually when the other one is off the court. For Allen and Mobley, the fact that they both play better individually when one of them is off the court. Like they make Mobley play the 4, but the guy can't shoot threes. Like he can't space the floor at all. And Allen literally doesn't even. Allen is just purely a small center. He's never even taken a 3. Maybe he takes like 4 threes a year. Terrence goes, at the end of the day, we got to beat the team that's in front of us in the playoffs, period. Forget avoiding. I agree. Exactly. Just beat whoever's in front of you. Most specifically, the Miami Heat.
I mean, yes, I'd love to beat them. Like, I want it so bad because of obviously last year. I want revenge.
And then Brian goes, I don't like the matchup versus the Pacers. Their pace and the points they put up scares me, but I feel like we can beat them in a first round.
Yeah, the Pacers I'm not too sure about. I have to rewatch. I want to rewatch some of the games we played against them this year, but I also don't. I think most of the games that we played against them were before they had Siakam. I think we've played like one since they got him.
But and OG was out. It was supposed to be the first time OG and Siakam would ever play against each other, and then OG didn't play.
Yeah, so I don't know if that can help me out too much. I'm just not like entirely sure about it, but I agree with you, Brian, to some extent about that comment.
We have, is this charging? No. We have 339 people watching us, mostly on Twitter. We have 14 on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Check out our shop, bignickenergy.com. We have a bunch of playoff merch out right now. A lot of it's 25 or 30% off, depending on whether it's a t-shirt or a hoodie. We also have BKE hats and a flag that no one buys, but it's a really cool flag, I gotta say. If you wanted a BKE flag.
Oh, I have one too, but I don't have the BKE one. I have the one that the Brunson quote, immaculate vibes, something like that.
The vibes are immaculate?
The vibes are immaculate. Yeah, I have that one.
Is that a Brunson quote? Is that where everyone got it from?
Yeah, he had a video of him saying that. He was just like, the vibes are immaculate, and it became a thing. And like, it's true. Right now, the vibes are immaculate. So I should put that up. But it's so huge. Like, even if I can't, if I put it up here, I don't know. It just, you wouldn't be able to read it this way.
Are Matt and JR just more Bens? Is that what this really is? Just Ben made more emails? I have no idea.
I was just thinking about that. I was thinking one of them.
Oh my God. Brian goes, basketball next to boxing is the greatest sport on earth. Basketball's been my favorite to play my whole life. I do want to answer this question though. Mill, what is the craziest thing you would do for a finals appearance? If you were like, if a genie came up to you and said, Mill, I will grant you the Knicks making the NBA finals, whether they win or lose is not up to me, but you have to do blank. You have to chop off your ring finger. You have to shave your head. What is the craziest thing you would do?
This is insane, but I'd probably go bald.
It's not that bad.
It's not, and I don't. Hair grows back quick.
Yours does. Mine doesn't.
Oh. Well, what's the craziest thing you do?
What is the craziest thing I would do for a finals appearance? I don't know. I'm so used to losing. I don't think I would ever do anything wild. Not chopping off any fingers or limbs. I think if I was your age, if someone asked me when I was like your age, I would be like, you know what? I don't need my whole left pinky finger.
Oh no way! I'm not doing anything.
Just like right there, just the very end. You know, like you don't need it's my offhand. Like, you know, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Maybe like toes. You don't need your toes. Like, what do your toes do?
You chopping a toe?
Yeah. Your toes are pretty much just useless. You use your fingers for everything.
You heard it, guys. If the Knicks make the finals this year, Mill will chop off a toe on camera.
That's wild. Like, just everything.
That would be our most viewed video.
Literally, that will be because it's a foot.
I would hope to God we got super chaps that video because you would need a lot of money for the medical bill.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
Guys, like, I'm not serious. Why would I endure that pain? I'm not trying to, I wouldn't endure any. Okay, I would get like slapped and punched for the Knicks.
What's the worst you would do for you to know the Knicks win the title?
Isn't that like the same thing? Oh wait, this was our finals appearance.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said to win the championship.
No.
I would not cut off my toes for a finals appearance.
You wouldn't chop off your toe to be swept by Jokic?
No. Well, let's say I do that for the actual championship.
Okay. Yeah, I think for a finals appearance, I think I would be willing to eat like a spoon of wasabi. I would go through the jackass throw up on camera process.
Oh my goodness, dude! Even just a little bit of wasabi sets me off. I can't do that.
I love spice. I think I'm well trained. My fiance and I have like 15 to 30 different spices in our fridge and cabinet at one time. So.
Oh wow,
and it clears out the nostrils.
Yeah, I think I think it's good for you. I don't know. I'm not a spice person, but I think my lid's gonna come off.
JR, we're gonna kick you if you say more weird crap like that. Terrence goes, Mills, your toes help you with walking and balance. So you're willing to give up your balance for the Knicks to win a championship. You're never shooting on camera again. But you're chopping your toe off on camera.
Look, if it's like, I hate to keep talking about it, my light. Anyways, if it's the middle one, my balance would still be there because it's in the middle. It wouldn't make a difference.
How many doctors have you asked before you just made that up?
I'm just looking. I'm just like, I'm assuming, okay? You have your other toes to balance it out.
All right. Good luck. I don't know. I hope you keep your toes your whole life. Joe, thoughts on the classical Boston versus New York Eastern Conference Finals? It's what I want. I hate those Boston boys. I hate them. Can't stand them. I want them bad. Same, man. I've said this. My dream is for us to beat the Heat round 1, beat the Bucks round 2, which now the Bucks are frauds. So honestly, it's beat the Heat round 1, beat the Sixers round 2, and beat Boston round 3. Milwaukee, you've literally been voted off the island because you're fraudulent now. Also, Giannis is hurt. He might not even play, so like that sucks. I wish he would come back and be his best.
Have they said how serious his injury was yet?
He is missing the regular season, and they are gonna monitor it during the week off.
Well, I mean, I hate to see like him go down. Obviously, it just, you don't prey upon injuries, for anyone. But
who made up all of these fake YouTube basketball player names? What is this?
First, we had J.R. Smith. Now we have Kevin Garnett. And I think it's strange that they're coming from like YouTube. You would expect it from Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on Twitter you have to actually make an account. I think on YouTube you could just you can literally just change your name, comment, change your name again, comment.
Oh, but I mean, like it's. I feel like it's strange for them to be finding us on YouTube because BKE has so many followers on Twitter. Anyone could just stumble by and watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they try to do this on KFTV or Knicks Film School, they would get booted. So, or there's actually thousands and thousands of people commenting, so then it just gets swarmed out.
Imagine that. Imagine having to read hundreds of comments.
They don't. They only read super chats. That's kind of why the show goes better.
Gotcha.
This guy says it's a Kevin Garnett fan page, so I mean, maybe.
That's cool.
Yeah, but that's the goal for us. We're gonna get hundreds of thousands of people watching us. We're gonna get 1 million super chats, and then you're gonna cut off your toe on camera for the Knicks win the finals.
Oh my god, like that would be insane. No, but we should all of us at BK, we should just say we're gonna do one thing if the Knicks actually make it to the finals, and then actually do it on stream.
If the Knicks make the finals, I will eat. I'll eat a spoonful of wasabi.
The wasabi.
I will do wasabi.
I gotta think about mine.
Obviously, just watch 2 of the Jackasses over again, and you'll find something you're willing to do.
And we have to have and Vin do it too.
I don't think Ange will do it, but I think we can convince Vin. I think we'll be able to. E. Gibson goes, best matchup in my opinion is Indy first round, but if we get Miami or Philadelphia, I'm still confident. I'm confident for everyone, but I do think the easiest one would be Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a matchup against Philly too. I really like. Well, they're on with Embiid back. I haven't watched like much games since he's in back. I don't know if he looks like he's at full strength. If you have, you can,
I've watched one game. He's on a minutes restriction. I think they played. It wasn't the Pistons. It was some whack team. I'm trying to figure it out again. They he played the Spurs a couple of games ago. No, he didn't play in the game. I forgot. I think it was the Pistons or some other whack team. And he literally scored 30 points in 21 minutes. What's funny is that Yahoo Sports actually had glitched out for a second. They said he scored 30 points in 12 minutes. And I was like, this is unbelievable. And then I tweeted it. And then I had to backtrack because it was a glitch on Yahoo. And I was like, I was just kidding, by the way. No, but I mean, he's scoring he's back to more or less scoring normal. He's not moving as well laterally on defense, but I mean, him and Maxey as a 2-man game is one of the most unstoppable things in the NBA right now. And their starting lineup with Embiid is the only thing that has had a net rating higher than the Celtics all year. The only lineup. So
yeah, I saw that. I saw that graphic. I don't know if it's the same one.
Yeah, from NBA University when they should. Yeah.
Yeah. The Knicks had 2 lineups on there.
Yeah, one of them had Julius Randle, unfortunately, so it's kind of sad. But they both had Brunson and OG, so I mean, you go with that.
Oh, and then the second highest was the one with Deuce, which is, I'm sure, you love to see that.
I did. That's why I have so much faith in Deuce, being the backup. He's not going to be the best at bringing the ball up the court or getting the offense organized for 6 to 8 minutes, but when he plays with Brunson, he's awesome. If you put him out there with Dante and Josh Hart and Isaiah Hartenstein, even without Brunson, and he's the point guard, he's not the one bringing the ball up the court. It's Dante or Josh.
Yeah.
And you still are able to just Teresa, see you later. Have a good night. Appreciate you stopping by. And then you still have the chance to actually be able to get rebounds, get turnovers. You just have a really solid defensive lineup. You can always score off fast breaks, even if you're not the best at handling the ball offensively.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, he's been huge these past few weeks. I know he's obviously had a few off nights recently, the past 2 games, but he went through a really good stretch. I would say still recently, 2 weeks ago. It was I think in 5 or 6 games as a starter, he was averaging 20 points per game. A little bit under, maybe it was 19. But still, His offense, his offensive capabilities. I don't think we've seen all of it yet. Like
from March 18th in Golden State, he played 46 minutes all the way to April 5th against Chicago. He played 37 minutes. And in these games, he scored 29, 11, 26, 13, 29, 7, 19, 24, 12,
that
19.
was a really great stretch for him.
All right, JR, you are getting so booted off this thing. Goodbye.
Dang, J.R. Smith. Why do you make us have to boot a former player?
It's really rough. It's really rough and sad. Also, if anyone listened to this enough, they would know that I talk about my fiance all the time, and to not be sexualizing you or I, but people suck. Brian goes, McBride is in the offseason, needs to improve his offense and ball handling. His shooting has come a long way. I mean, he's 23. It's got to be ball handling.
Definitely bringing up the ball more. I mean, if that's like what they want to solidify him as the point guard, as the backup point guard, ball handling.
And then Gibson goes, biggest issue I can see is getting the second unit, scoring in the second unit, which is what we've been talking about.
Well, if we're running an 8-man rotation and it's Bogdanovic, Robinson, and McBride coming off the bench, I'm counting on either Bogdanovic or McBride to have at least 10 plus points. I don't think it'll necessarily be both of them every night in the postseason, but
agreed.
A night like tonight where Bogdanovic had 14, McBride had 2 points, we didn't need both of them to score 10 plus, 15 plus. We really just needed one of them. We got the win,
Exactly, 100%. It never has to be both. To win in the playoffs, your starting lineup needs to be great, and you only need like one or two of your bench to be great.
Yeah.
Most teams go 7 or 8 men. Unrelated to the Knicks at all, but I'm excited to see what OKC does with their lineups in the playoff because Dagnall has been playing like 11 guys for most of the season, so I really want to see in like his first year coaching the postseason, the OKC, like almost every player on their roster being their first year. I really want to know like what they do with the rotation and then see like what it's like to be like the 9th, 10th, 11th guy. Like if you're Kenrick Williams or the other Jalen Williams, or if your name's any Williams, that's not J-Dub. Like they have so many Williamses, But if you're one of those two, or if you're no, Isaiah Joe would definitely get minutes. I don't know. They just have like 3 guys that's like you don't know if you're going to play nights tonight. And when you're in the regular season, you're used to that as a 23-year-old. It's one thing, and then when you get to the playoffs, I want to know how they're going to take it being so young.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we pretty much already know. As Knicks fans, we know that Tibbs usually runs like this 8-man rotation throughout. I mean, like when did he start that? He started at last season, like midway, I believe. I remember when it was. Yeah, when he
benched Cam and Derrick.
Yeah. And then, also Fournier was just permanently on there. So I guess it started from then. And then this season, that's what we expected. But, when we dealt with so many injuries, I believe it was extended a little bit. I feel like that's what happened. But we know going to the playoffs, it's going to be 8, I assume.
Yeah, and I think Precious and Burks are situational. And by situational, I mean it would take an injury for one of you to play.
Yeah, agreed.
Brian is still very worried about this, and I hope he gets his answer in the postseason sooner or later. Brunson can't play 48 minutes in the playoffs. Who is right second scorer every night? It's going to be a different second scorer most nights, I think is what's going to happen. It's going to be Devo sometimes. It's going to be McBride off the bench once or twice. It might be Josh Hart once or twice. Maybe it's Hartenstein, like with a 18 and 10 kind of game. Like the Knicks, you would expect it to be DiVincenzo more often than not. Oh, I didn't even mention OG. I feel like it'd probably be OG. OG and Devo are probably the second and third in some order. And then I would probably say McBride or Bogdanovic. And then Hart and Hart like last and second to last, and Mitch the very bottom, but his job isn't to score. But it's going to be a different guy most of the time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, pretty much, I've said a very similar thing a few weeks ago. Like after a win, I was just saying like every night someone has to step up It doesn't have to be the same person, but like it could be Dante DiVincenzo scoring 31, Deuce scoring 25. Like I think that it might be someone different every time. I do predict that it'll probably be OG or Devo as our second main scorer every night. But yeah, it could be different.
I don't know how much longer you want to be on. I had a final question I want to pitch to you. See if I can rile anyone up that's listening on Twitter, because this would be the big anti Twitter gang thing. How many points would OG have to average in the playoffs for you to rationalize giving him the max? Which is like 42 mil or some shit.
Man. Well, here's the thing. He only had 12. What did he have tonight? He only had 12.
He had 12 points. He only took 10 shots.
You see, and we dominated the Celtics, like full on dominated them in 3 quarters. We were up by 30, I think, at the end of the third. I don't necessarily feel like I need him to be averaging 25 a game in the postseason. Obviously we know this. He's an impact player from everything else he does, especially on the defensive end. 12 points tonight from him, and we still got a win. And I count us winning by 30 because this game ended at the third quarter, after the third quarter.
Facts.
So that's tough because, like, some nights he could play the best defense in the world, and I would value him more for that than him putting up 20 points a game or 25. So I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough.
If he averages like 29 points a game, then I think
29.
He's 29.
He's not going to do 29.
I know, which is why it was a crazy hypothetical question. He's also not getting the max. So that's why I was like, how high of a crazy number would OG Anunoby? Like, if OG Anunoby averaged 28 points and they made the finals, I think he's getting the max.
I just don't think he's doing 29. Maybe I think he's going to average 20 to 25, somewhere in between there. For all
of my love and all of my narratives personally as a selfish individual, I sure as hell hope so.
Yeah.
Because some people still don't care about his defense being as great as it is.
It's, you just have to be a Knicks fan and watch Knicks games to understand it. People will see the box score, they'll see that he only had 12 points, and they'll think nothing of that. They won't think he should be our third scoring option on a team with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. But he still impacted the game. If he goes on to average 29 in the postseason, that will literally be insane. I mean, I don't even know. What did he average in the month of January?
Not that much.
Yeah, I don't think he had big scoring games.
His highest scoring output in January was 23. No, he scored 26 against Denver. See, against the best team, he scored the most, which means 45 in the playoffs.
And, no Julius Randle, so he has to do it.
Exactly. And 5 steals and 5 blocks a game. We're talking about Victor Wembanyama now.
He's just going to turn into Kawhi Leonard, right?
I love, it's so funny seeing like people that don't watch him or have never watched him just be like, yo, I see some Kawhi light in him, man. I swear to God, if he just keeps working on it. And it's just like, dude, he's like 26, turning 27 years old. Like, he's kind of like, it would have happened by now.
Yeah.
And I love OG. He's my favorite player. It would have happened by now.
Hey, you never know. This postseason might be his chance. As a second scoring option, we might see it.
OG Anunoby's postseason career, his rookie year before he ended up missing after the appendectomy, 8 points a game. Oh, wait, was that the year after? I think it might be the year after. The last time he was in the playoffs, though, he averaged 17 points a game. 47% shooting from the field, only 34% from 3, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 1 steal and 0.2 blocks. This was in 2022 with Toronto, the last time they made it.
17? It's not that bad. I mean, depends on was he like the third, the fourth scoring option? I don't know on that team.
Yeah, we have to set this to actually do like subscribers or members only or something. Yeah,
Did
I
you
don't know.
see
I
the
think it
newest
was a
comment?
yes, I did. I think it's time for us to get off. Or it's time to stop being trolled.
I mean, yeah, because McBride just joined. I mean, Deuce McBride just joined. So, hey, what's up, Deuce?
You didn't bring the ball up well in the fourth quarter. You didn't shoot well tonight, but you always tried your ass off on defense. But that's all we can ask.
Why have there been like 4 fan pages
I
in
don't
the
know.
chat tonight?
I think it's fake. I think it's someone just changing their name all the time.
Yeah.
We have to figure out better settings for our YouTube.
I mean, it doesn't like we don't have to highlight it, so like we can just fully ignore it like the next stream.
That's so hard for me to do. Just have like ADD.
It's okay.
All right, Bill. Well, I'm at work. I have to go start doing stuff and probably give Ralph a break at some point. What's it called? Everyone check out our shop, bignickenergy.com. Win for 30 is still a shirt available, and we are going to win for 30 in the playoffs. Mill's going to chop her toes off. I don't know if you missed that part. If we win the title, Mill will chop off a toe, and I'm going to eat a spoonful of wasabi. So let's go Knicks. Mill, what else you got?
Not much. Just we play again tomorrow night. I'm definitely going to try to go live after the game. It's against the Brooklyn Nets. Are we at home or is it in Brooklyn?
In MSG.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Which is the same thing. Does it even matter?
Yeah, doesn't matter. But hopefully it's a win. I mean, I'm expecting it to be. And it'll feel good because it's the Nets. We love bullying the Nets.
Jack City, super chat before we go, $10, 50 wins loading. Hey, if we win 2 more and the Bucks lose 2 more, not only do we get 50 wins, I'm trying to ban all the people that keep saying weird stuff. We are the 2 seed, and then we get to play whoever wins the play-in, which at this point, it could be the Pacers, the Heat, or the Sixers. We don't know.
Jack, I do think we can do it. I mean, to me, the Nets game tomorrow is an automatic win, but trap games exist where, obviously we could go and play against a team that is considered bad. We undermine them and then they end up winning. That can always happen. I'm taking it as a win. And then the Bulls on Sunday. I mean, the Bulls have been like really competing against us. I would say this past week, DeRozan has really been going off for some reason. It's his NBA Finals every time we play him. But I'm taking another win on Sunday, so let's hit 50 wins.
DeFrozen in his last 5 games is 39, 34, 30, 20, and 31.
Wow.
Keep going back, 27, 31, 27, 27, 28. Wow, this guy's been going off a little bit.
Yeah.
Good old DeFrozen.
Yeah.
They don't win a lot of games, but
if we hit 50, it's going to be incredible to think that we did that half a season without Julius Randle and then more than half a season without OG Anunoby, because remember, he came here in January and then we only had him for January. So, that 50-win season is pretty much going to be, I would pin it on Jalen Brunson and what he's been doing.
The Knicks have only played 20 games with OG Anunoby, and I don't know if you've heard, they're 17-3 in those games.
Yes. Yeah, I heard it the last time we won. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Maybe he should just get the max off of that. They'll just, when they go into the meeting, that will be the only thing they'll present.
I hope so. That'd be mad funny. Although I do want to play 65 games and actually get an all-NBA defense as the Knick. But JJ, you're out. We're out. We'll talk to you all later. If Mill's on tomorrow, I'll try to be on from work again. Let's go Knicks.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.